Welcome, everyone. We're delighted you're here joining us today. This webinar is a workshop that's been designed to introduce and familiarize you with the new registry portal that will be visible at usshortcodes.com after the transition is complete as of January 1st, 2026. We are recording this webinar, which is why microphones and cameras are off. But if you have questions during the presentation, please use the Q&A function that's found up in the toolbar at the top of the screen. Our team will answer as many questions as we can live as time permits. But for those questions we're unable to get to, we'll send a type response and we'll follow up as needed. The recording of this webinar will be posted to the transition website in the coming days, so you can reference it and refer it or point people to it as needed. So with that, let's kick it off and we'll turn it back over to Ariel for the walkthrough.
Amazing. Thanks, Jeff, and very excited to have all of you here. My name's Ariel Reed. I'm the VP of Customer Experience at GCH Technologies, and this is the first of a series of workshops that we're going to have to make sure that the transition process is as smooth and as seamless as possible. So what we're going to cover today is your account setup. It is very, very simple. There's 4 steps that you need to complete, and we're going to go through all 4 of them today. It's going to be to create a new password, enable multi-factor authentication, add payment method, and then manage any users. What will happen on November 3rd, which is next Monday, you are going to receive an email that looks just like this. It's going to come from cso@usshortcodes.com to the email address that you have as active inside of the registry. And all you need to do is click that Set Up Your Account button, enter the email that that was sent to you, or if you know your user ID, you can use that here too. The information that is inside of the existing registry is being migrated over into the new registry. So you can use either one. Click that Reset Password button and that will shoot off an email. While we're waiting for that email to float through cyberspace, a point to make here, and you'll hear me reiterate it a couple of times over the course of our chat today, is that we are moving away from shared logins to individual logins. So you want to make sure that you are going through, and anyone who's going to need access to the registry has a user account inside of the system that we're going to set up today. That way they're able to utilize multi-factor authentication and come in. If you try to share your login, you're going to have your multi-factor on your device and they're not going to be able to get in alongside you. And we don't want that to happen at all. So let's head on over into here. And if all went according to plan, live demos, y'all, so bear with me. Seems my email's running slow alongside. Interesting. So if my email were working, what would happen is you're going to be sent through and into a flow that asks you to reset your password. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a moment. You get to look at my face to see why my email isn't loading. I'm so sorry, y'all. I blame Microsoft and Outlook. Greg, if you could drop me that new password link. For some reason, my email is completely dead right now and not loading.
I'm sorry, which password link?
I got it. The reset password link. Here it is.
Gotcha.
I got it. There we go. There we go. Set new password. So what you're going to do inside of here is you're going to set a new password. Passwords need to match, and I am notorious for not having them match. You set it, and away you go. So, I believe I just set it for my All right, and this is where multi-factor is going to start. I'm going to see if my Teams link came. There it is. This is what we're looking for. And this is going to move us through. Lots of test accounts, y'all, to make sure that everything is going smooth as silk. Uh-oh. There we are. Password done. Now we get to reset multi-factor authentication. MFA, you have two methods that you can leverage in order to set multi-factor. The first is the tried and true receive an SMS from a short code. This is only available for US-based registrants. So if you are not US-based, we have an option for you too to set up MFA through SMS, put in your number, accept the terms and conditions, and a code will be sent to you coming from short code 424632. Or you can use an authenticator app. Our system does not tell you which authenticator app that you need to use. We support all of them. They just need to have a time-based one-time passcode that is associated with them, whether that's Google, Microsoft Duo. A lot of organizations are moving to a multi-factor utilizing a some sort of an authenticator app. If you haven't seen those before, this is what the experience kind of looks like. You go to the App Store, download Google, Microsoft, of the like, click on the add button or the QR code button, and then choose whether or not you want to enter a setup key or scan a QR code. I find the QR code way easier because that setup key is rather lengthy. Then it's as simple as point and shoot. And you enter the code. And if cyberspace is going to cooperate, you verify and you're in. And you will see that nice big green check mark once it's completed successfully. And then we are inside of the registry. So we can take a tour. We have an automated system to walk you through everything that I'm going to walk you through today. So I'm not going to go through those steps. You've got me to walk you through it, but there is a reminder of sorts if you don't want to reference back to this video or look at a user guide. When you first log in, you are going to be met with an account details page. This is not going to be editable on November 3rd. This is being populated out of the existing registry. So if you see 0 leased codes, don't freak out. That's what's supposed to happen. Anything that's related to your account itself is living inside of the existing registry so that we make sure nothing gets out of sync there. So things like your billing details, your business details, all of that will become editable here starting in January. What we do need from you is anything specific to you, things like your email address, your agreements. So before you can go through any of that, you need to accept the new registrant license agreement, which you can view by clicking here and just acknowledge and accept. And then you can come through and take a peek at your own profile. Make sure that your email is up to date, your personal info is as you expect it to be. To make any changes or edits, that's as simple as clicking on the Edit Profile button. You can make any changes here. If you want to edit your email, that is a special flow because we need to make sure that the email is indeed yours. So you go through another email verification. That's very simple though. Again, put in your new email, accept the terms and conditions, and got to change something. And then it will send you a new code to verify, pop into the system, and you're good to go. And it'll make that update for you. When you first log in, you will not see any email subscriptions subscribed for you. We're letting everyone make choices about what kinds of emails that they would like to receive, whether that is about account updates or short code transfers. It's a choose your own adventure there. What I will say is that if you are the billing contact or if you were the account holder who purchased a code, you will receive all auto renew notifications, billing notifications. Those you can't opt out of. We want to make sure that somebody knows what's going on. So those will automatically come to you, but everything else you can select your own subscriptions, and you can see this pop up here. Your changes are saved automatically. So it's pretty easy to subscribe and unsubscribe depending on what you need. Resetting a password, and this is pretty standard. Put your current password in, put your new password that you want, and click. You'll get an email to confirm that's what you wanted to do. And to reset MFA, so for example, if I decided I wanted to switch to SMS instead of having my Authenticator app, I can click that Yes, Reset MFA button. It will zero everything out. When I log back in, it will start me through that MFA flow again. Beautiful. User management. So when you log in, you will either see it's just you or you'll see a whole host of people like I have here. Again, depending on what is inside of the existing registry. If you only see yourself, that means either you are a mighty team of one and you are responsible for everything short code within your organization. I applaud you. If you're not the only person, it means you are probably utilizing a shared login. And so what you'll want to do is come in here to add a new user. You get to set that new user's ID. I'll set one for myself. Select their role. These roles mimic what you have in the registry today, whether it's registrant admin or registrant. The primary difference between the two is an administrator has access to this user management tab where a registrant does not, and an admin also has billing functionality and responsibilities that they are able to see and edit that a registrant does not. It is worth noting, though, that everybody can leverage saved payment methods and add payment methods in order to be able to lease a code. Samantha is going to add me to her organization today. Lucky her. And I will put in my actual phone number. If you need to reach me, please do. I would love to hear from you. Confirm your email. I know watching someone type in text is so much fun. And then put in your organization address, save and next. You can subscribe a user to the subscriptions you would like them to have, or you can choose to not subscribe them at all. Save, and away you go. You're able to see who has logged in and accepted the invitation and who has not logged in to accept the invitation. They will receive an email that looks something like that. Yay, email's working. Will look like this. So they'll receive an email saying that they've been invited. They'll get their user ID with a temporary password. And what they'll do is they'll come in utilizing that, using their email, that password, and then it will prompt them to reset that temporary password and establish MFA. Pretty straightforward and simple. You can come in here and edit any of those user details if you'd like, again, with the click of a button. You can also resend that, hey, you've been invited email, or reset someone's multi-factor, or delete them. And I think that's about all you need to know about adding users. Most important thing as we get closer to December is to check yourself back in here, see who it is that hasn't logged in yet that you might want to poke a bit to pop them back in. Or also, if you are one who has a big list like this, you might see someone who no longer works at your organization anymore that hadn't been removed from the previous system. Again, that's as simple as saying, we don't want them. Bye. Bye, Amy. Payment method. So this again, when you first come into the system, is going to be empty because none of your payment information is coming over from the existing system into ours. We use different billing mechanisms, and to ensure smooth transition, this is the simplest and most accurate way of making sure we have the payment method on file for you. So you'll click that Add Payment Method button. You'll see here that you can add credit cards, debit cards, and ACH inside of the system. We also are still accepting wires and checks. So if that is the way that you currently pay for your leased codes, look out for an email coming from CSO@usshortcodes.com that will detail that wire transfer information for you and also where to send checks. Once the system goes live, and I'll show you a little bit of what that experience looks like at the end of this presentation, you'll be able to see the wire details and the check details inside of the registry when you go to lease the code, and those will be options for you there. To add a card, this is add a thank you, Prasad, for covering our company's short code bill for right now. Add your card in. You can give it a nickname. I would encourage you to try to be as clear with your nicknames as you can as you get more billing methods inside here. It just makes it easier. And for the billing address, you do have the option of choosing a saved contact from inside of the registry, probably your billing account contact, and that will automatically populate the billing address. You can set that payment as default. If it's the first one, it's going to automatically be set as the default payment. Save it. And there it is. To change from the existing default payment method to something else, you can click Set as Default, and it will change it automatically, just like so. To add ACH, similar methodology. We've partnered with Stripe and with ChargeBee in order to automate the process of validating the ACH payment. So what you do is come in here. I don't know if you've done this in your personal life, but I certainly have, to validate your bank. So you click your bank, agree and continue, and this will pop you into logging into your actual bank account to be able to authenticate through the ACH process. A lot of times, especially when you work for a large organization, there's different profiles and such. So you'll want to make sure probably you're working with your finance department. Those folks are going to have the profile to be able to enable that automated validation. If you struggle with anything or bump into any problems, you can always reach out to CSO. We have several billing specialists on staff who are very well versed in this process. If that automated process isn't working for you, or if inside of this list you don't see your bank, there is a manual validation process that you can go through, and what that looks like is simply putting in your account number, your routing number, and you'll receive an email asking for you to verify micro deposits. And I've done that a couple of times so that you can confirm that the account is actually working. Worth noting, this process can take between 1 to 2 days. And during that time, until the payment method is verified, you aren't able to use it to pay for anything. Again, in this instance, that's okay because you're not paying for anything inside of our registry as it stands until January. But if you do add ACH after January, you'll need to wait those days until the account is validated before you can use that as a payment method. All right. And you can see if that is pending right there through pending validation. Last tab inside of here, and then I'll stop and pause and see if we have any questions. Sorry, I'm inside of one screen and I'll move to the other. I know I've thrown a lot. Last thing is vetting specific for your organization. This is information only for right now. You'll be able to see everyone's account for the most part should be in account status completed and your vetting and verification is valid. Once we get through January, this is where you would come to submit for revetting or make any updates for vetting for your account itself. All right, I'm going to pause there and pop on over into the Q&A section. See, Jeff, did you have any questions for me as we were going through there?
No, I don't think so. I think you've covered it very well.
Amazing. All right, inside of the Q&A, I am seeing a question from Walter asking if it's possible to restrict the use of payment method to specific users or to a specific access level. At this point in time, no. If a payment method is available, it is available across your account, but I'm happy to take that request down and chat with our team to see if that's something we could put on the roadmap. Any other questions? If you have them, pop them into the chat. All right.
Yeah,
And
I mentioned it and published it, so we're going.
perfect. I'm new to webinar world. I'm so used to having back and forth with folks. It's a very quiet room out there. But it's great to see everybody. All right. That's it when it comes to coming in. As you can see, we went through that fairly quickly, and that was with me with explanation. So it should take you about 10 minutes to come in and make sure that all of that is smooth. One more question I see. Which contact will receive the email next week? Everyone. So if you've been receiving emails from me, if you have an account inside of the registry where you are associated with an active lease or you have logged in within the last 18 months, you are receiving an email with the ability to log in. That does beg the question, though, once you get through that email and you go through all of these steps, where can you go once you've got everything all set up? And there are a couple of different ways that you can come back to this screen. The first one is by going to registry.usshortcodetransition.com. Oh, I have to log out first. And clicking the login button. And that will pop you right here to enter your user ID and password. And we are also going to have it at usshortcodestransition.com. There will be a button for login right up here that will go live on the 3rd, and you can get to that same site right from there. Anything else? All right. I think if it's all right with you, Jeff, we've got plenty of time. I would love to go into the full system and walk some folks through walk some folks through that and see what that experience looks like.
Sounds good.
Amazing. All right. Flip to this tab. And this is my multi-factor. All right. So this page should look very familiar to many folks on this call. It is exactly what you see on the existing site. We've just moved it into the registry itself, so you can come in here, look for memorable codes if you want to look for something with cool names, maybe. Drums. My husband has decided to take drum lessons, bless his soul, and God help me through the holiday season. Random codes. You can load up to 20. I know when we were having conversations about this, this is the way some of you like to work with your customers. And when they see one you like, you can add it to the cart, then you can refresh, start again, load some more, see what it is that they like. Then you can come up into the cart and make changes to everything globally if you'd like. So if monthly billing's available for you, you can turn everything to monthly billing with the click of a button, or you can come in manually and update individually if you want everything to have different lease terms. You can also, at the time of purchase, designate as a government or a charitable code, and that discount gets automatically applied as you are ordering. And you can also see here that the first month free is also applied. Proceed on over to payment. And here you can see that check and wire are lit up for us now. All of the details that you need, again, right there for you. And you can come on through, put optional information in, click those terms and best practices, and then purchase utilizing that wire payment. There are a couple of different hubs inside of the registry to enable you to manage all of your short codes, all of your brands, your content providers, and your billing. The My Account tab is where we just were. You'll see that it's lit up now so that you can edit your account details, manage your contacts. I'd love to bring your attention down here as well. We've added a space for you to be able to add distribution lists within your organization. So if you have folks that need access to registry information but don't necessarily need to log into the registry, you can set up a distro or add their email here and subscribe them to any of those email categories to make that easy. Within the management of codes itself, we have added some intuitive filters as well as searchability to enable you to do what it is that you do on the day-to-day better, faster, stronger. So one of the key things we heard as we were talking to folks was being able to surface codes that don't necessarily have a brand associated with them. We now have that at the click of a button. Need onboarding action. There you go. Something that needs billing action. We've got a check pending on this one. Maybe I need to go take a peek at it. Very simple to see. All of the columns are searchable. So if I want to pull, like, what are all of my charitable or government codes? There they are right there. Maybe I want to see, I've got American Airlines as a client. What codes are they on? Right there. Makes it simple to search, and anything that is on auto renew or has expired, we have filters for those as well. What I'd love to walk us through today is the process of what we have termed onboarding. So that's what you see over here. Onboarding is simply the process of associating a short code with its brand and content providers. That's, I think, if I had to talk about one of the biggest changes from the existing system to the new, it's that we've bifurcated the process of leasing a code and onboarding brands and content providers through vetting. So you watched as I was able to lease all of those codes without putting any of that information in. That's because it happens independently. Then I can come over into brands and I can add a new brand if I'd like. And that takes me through a handy dandy wizard format that saves all of the information as you put it in. So if for whatever reason, like I know that my favorite company, REL Inc. I know REL Inc. is going to be doing work with me, but I haven't really gotten to her corporate address or doing anything with her yet. So I need a little bit more information before I can get going. What'll happen here is it all ends up in a bucket, and so it saves it out right for you so you can come back and keep working. If I want to be able to see where a brand is at inside of the vetting process, that's what those filter cards up here are able to do for me. We are directly integrated via API with Aegis Mobile, CTIA's designated vetting and monitoring partner, and we've been working very closely with them to make sure that the registry and the vetting and monitoring program are in sync. Stay tuned for a joint session between the two of us. I'm very keen to make sure that we're all on the same page with what that process looks like in the new year. But in the meantime, just being able to see what is currently sitting in progress because it hasn't been submitted yet or hasn't been vetted yet versus those that need action. You can very easily see if something needs to be revet or if there's a revision because something came back as a failure from Aegis. We've got the details of what actually requires revision here. So you can see and you can edit that submission again right from inside of the registry and resubmit it back to Aegis for review. Lastly is this awaiting assignment tab. So it's the reverse of what short codes don't have a brand associated with them. What brands do I have that don't have a short code associated with them? So I can see here that Feeding America, I need to associate that short code. So let's go do that together now. I know that since it's a charitable organization, I'm going to want to add it to a charitable code. So let's go grab that charitable short code and begin the onboarding process. The first thing that you'll do is select intended usage, whether that is a regular brand or if it's for political purposes. This is because of the designation that the carriers are wanting to be able to review as they're going through their onboarding process. Charitable, government, and standard all fall in under brand usage. Filling in, this will be auto-populated for you with your saved contact, but you can always choose to move it over from your primary account contact to your billing contact or put in something completely new. Here is where you select the brand client, and there's our charitable organization, Feeding America. You'll add your content provider, DCA, and then application service provider. Here's where you can take a peek, make sure everything's looking great. Like I see down here, oh, I've got a space in there actually. Let's fix it. There we go. I confirm and finish the process. Then once you go to the details page, you can see lots and lots about this short code. So we can see that onboarding is complete. I can get all of the details about what happened upon leasing and what my term is, when is the renewal date, etc. That download statement button, this is what is replacing what you typically submit now with your lease receipt inside of campaign management systems. This is the new version of receipt. It's called a statement. And what you can see here is it includes not just the short code information and the payment details information, but it also includes the onboarding information and the verification that's been completed across all brands, content providers, DCAs, and application service providers, all housed on one document that can be uploaded and submitted into the registration systems at each of the carriers. All right. I'm going to stop there now. What questions are there?
No new questions. Oh, there's something coming in now.
Oh. There we go.
API testing. How can I set
Yeah.
up a testing environment for API? So that would be through our staging environment, the one that Ari was actually demonstrating on. So if you send in a request to cs@usworkcodes.com, we'll get in touch with you and get you set up to do your testing. You need a VPN and some other credentials and all that, but we can get you set up to do your VPN testing.
Is there still a concept of parked codes? Yes, there is. It's a little bit less relevant now that the process is bifurcated between purchasing the code and onboarding the brand. Like the reason to park it, right, was because I knew I wanted this code, but I didn't quite have a brand or content provider ready to associate with it. But the option to designate a code as parked or demo can be done at the time of leasing. There.
There's a good question regarding if you have multiple codes purchased, what would the statement look like? So the invoice, the purchase would show all of the codes that were associated with that, but a statement is unique to an individual code, and it's part of enabling and turning that code on in the carrier. So the statement is unique to the individual purchase.
So there's your billing details, but on the code itself is where you're going to see that statement happen. Versus the billing. What else? So this webinar is being recorded right now. So if you want to refer back to it, if you have a colleague who wasn't able to make it for whatever reason and you want to forward it on to them, we'll be sending a link to it via email in the next day or so. And it's also going to be uploaded to usshortcodestransition.com, which is our hub for all of the transition information. Just to confirm, for accounts that have an approved content provider / brand client, will those need to be resubmitted? No, that's a really great question. So everything that is inside of the existing registry now, all of your leased codes, all of the associations that you've already made between your brands and your content providers, that is all coming with you and will be available in January.
Yeah, that being said, if there's renewals that are coming up, those will have to be done on schedule. But yes, everything that's currently vetted will come across in that vetted status.
Mm-hmm. Joe is asking, users will self-designate charitable status of a code before or after lease. How will this be verified? So when you purchase it, it will happen before, then you make that association, and it's upon association that the validation will occur. When will we get access to this portal, and how do we ensure we are on the list to get access? If you are here, you are on the list. If somebody forwarded this webinar to you, it means you are probably not on my list. So please reach out to me, areed@gch.com, gchtech.com, or to our customer success operations team, CSO@gchtech.com, and we will get you added. Good question. What is the process of enrolling a short code into monthly billing once it transitions from parked? Interesting question, Walter. So I'm flying right now. Greg, can I do that? Would it be okay for me to do that?
Mhm.
Sweet. Flying
Well,
without
so
a net.
you got to get out of park. You got to get out of park because you basically take it out of parked and put it to monthly billing. You can't go immediately into parked from monthly billing, just like the current system.
So here it is, and I'm parked. Terms, conditions. It's very easy to purchase a code. Demonstration of. There we are. So here's my code.
It's 3 months though, because it's parked, right? So then you have to convert it to
So
monthly
it
billing
would have to
afterwards.
be converted after those 3 months.
Now, if you buy a new code, you can, without being parked, you can go right into monthly billing from the beginning. That's a difference on our system versus the current one. But your account has to be verified for monthly billing and all that, and then you can purchase a code directly into monthly billing. There still is a 2-month upfront that's associated with it, but then it rolls immediately into monthly billing. You don't have to come back and do it afterwards.
Got it. As much as I'd love to hold us all here for 3 months to let that process turn. I don't think you want to listen to me for that long. Will we be going over the reporting features within the portal today? Not today, Walter, but we're going to have a whole session on reporting before we launch in January. Data is near and dear to my heart. It's also very near and dear to Mr. Simmons' heart too. So we will absolutely go through reports that will exist upon launch, and then would love feedback on reports that you would want to see going forward. Any other questions?
Yeah, Matt just asked one. Hey, we have 2 accounts, NPO and non-NPO, and they will come across as 2 separate accounts. The brands you would not need to revet. That's already, as long as they're already vetted, then they will come across in that vetted status.
Mm-hmm.
If in the future you want to combine accounts, you can work with us after we go live to do it, and we can combine them.
I'm taking a note, Matt. All right. Anything else that we can answer for you? Burning questions. All right. Well, if anything does come up over the course of the next couple of days or over the next couple of months, I am always available for answering questions. Please feel free to reach out to me. I know Jeff is also always available for answering questions, so you can reach out to him as well. And our CSO team is very excited to begin working with you and get to know everyone. Again, this video is being recorded, or webinar is being recorded. It'll be posted on usshortcodestransition.com, and I will be sending a link out to that following this call for ease of access. There will be additional sessions that we have similar to this one over the coming weeks around different topics within the registry system itself. If there's something specific that you'd want us to cover, please let us know, or we can schedule a personalized session with you to go through it as well. Anything else to add, or any other questions that trickled in? All right.
There's one more
Well,
question about Joe has asked about annual brand vetting, and I guess Jeff, I think the answer is yes, but I'll let you answer that question. Brand's still vetted every year, annually?
Yeah, that's right. The longest it would be 365 days. Could be sooner, but that would only be in the case of where we'd seen something in monitoring that would require us to do a vet. But yes, annually is the pattern.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeff.
all right. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We're very, very excited to get you into the system next week. And again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks all.